Hello, hello, my friends, for the first time, for the many times, and for possibly the last time, in the main campaign at least, before we get to the golden ending. But, that's the other things. Before we get started, announcements for the channel. Announcement number one, other shows on the channel. Tomorrow night, Sprout Stream. Will, Matt, Data, Sarah, also known as Cosmic, Final Fantasy XIV, the award-winning MMO, now with mechs. I have a Gundam. I'm one of 3,000 people who have a Gundam, and I'm so happy. And that's over the entire player base. So that's like a very low percentile, which is very cool. Then on Wednesday, see McKenna having an aneurysm in Wild Ambition.
Why would I have an aneurysm?
I think this week is going to be a little bit stressful for you.
Oh no.
McKenna, believe me when I say, better you than me.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Matt, because on Friday we have the Astral Calling,
God damn it.
Oh.
My wife.
where Matt will see McKenna's aneurysm on Wednesday and say "Neato" on Friday.
Give me one of
Better
those.
you than me.
Keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
Ooh, got him. Got him. Just her name? Got it.
Oh, Lordy Lou. Will our party be able to save Captain Cyprus? Will they do a prison break? Join us this week and find out. It's been pretty interesting so far. They've solved my golem puzzle. They met some interesting guards. They possibly learned more about Guardsman Dave. Who knows? But then on Saturday, we have the Tabletop Bros doing Solasta. That's gonna be fun.
Yep.
Yep.
I will pick fights with more giants and you cannot stop me.
Hey.
You missed it this week, everyone, where at one point we were like recovering from an encounter. Calf runs off to the side, triggers like the next two encounters together, is fighting alone for like a solid 4 rounds until we managed to all catch up to him.
Dingus.
I mean, don't you have Dimension Door? I mean, phones?
I do. And then Matt did the same thing for the boss encounter.
Oh, Matthew.
But we're doing that. We're bringing the dwarven clans together. Speaking of dwarves, there's dwarves in Stardew Valley, and on Sunday, Cozy Co-op. Will M. Sarah. Stardew Valley, yeah, there's dwarves. There's several, in fact.
Well, yeah, we see one.
We see one, but there's several mentioned.
They're a group of.
We technically see a couple, because if we go to do Krobus Hearts events, there is the Dwarf Shadow People snapping battle.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
They're cosmically. How dare they?
Yes. But yeah, so we have that. And then on Monday we have the Strength of Thousands AP, the show you're watching right now. But before we watch that show, just one more lovely thing. Look at this Gundam, chat.
That's so cute.
Somewhere Chad is just shaking his head.
Look at this lovely little SD Gundam.
Does it have little wings?
Yeah, it has little butterfly wings, metal butterfly wings.
Cute.
There we go.
Did you see the Gundam Overwatch collab?
Yeah, if there was an SD, I would do it.
Oh well.
Listen, those SD Gundams are the best Gundams. Don't at me.
Anywho.
Anyway, Matt, it's your turn now. You're in charge.
Yes, hello everyone, and welcome to the ultimate episode of the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path. It has been literal years out of game, and possibly more in game, because who's been actually keeping track of that? Not me. I should have been, but I wasn't.
I might have should have been, but I didn't.
But I didn't.
If timing is to believe, it's been about 4 years in game.
In the words of the immortal Meatwad, time and space are a mystery to me. Anyone else watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
That's a little bit before our time, Matt.
Meatwad, you've been standing in the doorway for 3 days. Have I? Time and space are a mystery to me.
Arise, chicken.
Arise, chicken. It was a very weird show and at times very inappropriate, but
Quite, in fact.
But
Better
we're not here
than
to
that
we're not
purple
here to talk.
alien.
Oh, the Mooninites.
Yeah.
We're not here to talk about sentient blobs of hamburger meat. We're here to talk about things that are much, much better. These wonderful people who are not sentient balls of hamburger meat.
As far as you know.
Debatable.
Who says?
Who can really say what we are?
Who can?
But who are these non-hamburger meat people? Let's find out for possibly the last time. I'm starting with, because their shirt is the closest to hamburger meat, McKenna.
Like, be
'Cause it's
very
pink and
careful.
red.
That segue is wild.
It's pink and red, which is close to blood.
Swing and a miss.
It's
Matt's
pink and orange
vegetarian
and the
is really
white and
showing.
magenta,
Actually, it looks
like the lesbian flag.
The
God,
orange-
lesbian visibility week is over for one day, and you're already calling our pride colors hamburger meat.
it looks
Hamburger meat.
it looks red on camera.
Meat's the
Hamburger meat.
the lesbians are about.
Thank you, Sarah.
Anyway, hello everyone. My name is McKenna Raytinen. I am not wearing hamburger meat.
Yeah.
I would hope not.
Eventually, you'll become a pop star.
What?
What?
Lady Gaga.
Oh,
She
I
didn't
think
wear
I
hamburger
think
meat either.
Let's sail right past this,
Beef.
please.
It's a different. I'm playing Avi Avi. What a sad potential final introduction. What a mess.
Yeah, it's too bad.
There's no way this is our last introduction. Ain't no way.
What if I could die? I could die
I could
in
die.
real life and in the game.
But-
No.
Speaking of something that is proof that you are alive and have been alive, please, as your fun question tonight, name a thing you really just didn't want to eat when you were a child. You could still potentially not like it, but very specifically when you're a child, you're like, no, I don't want to eat it. It's gross.
Gosh, there was a lot. I was a picky kid.
I hear you.
I wasn't when I was like a baby, but then I grew into my like younger childhood and I didn't want to eat anything. I think the funniest one might be chocolate. My mom tried to give me chocolate and I was like, it's brown like poop. No. And then she was like, I promise if you just try it, you will like it. And then finally I did try it and I was like,
That is a very child face too. Like,
what do you mean? What do you mean? This looks like not supposed to eat, but good. I think the longer lasting one though that I had actually tried and decided I didn't like was I hated fish. I hated fish, most meat as a kid, unless it was super processed, but fish especially. And now I'm, my special meal, my fancy Friday meal that I always get before stream is raw fish. Just get poke. I have to have poke at least once a week.
Yum. Me with sushi.
Exactly. And I will go out of my way to get good fish. I think child McKenna would have been aghast that I had went and booked myself at omakase when I visited Japan. That she would have been like, "You sat through 10 courses of raw fish? Why? Were you held at gunpoint?" But I don't know, my palate just evolved. And now I like fish.
I mean, it's potentially possible. I may be getting this wrong, but it's potentially possible the entirety of the cells that make up your tongue have been replaced since you were a child. So
That's true.
It is true. It is true.
But speaking of Aghast, which is a monster you sometimes might encounter in D&D, which is something Will would know, having played much D&D in his life. Will, please introduce yourself, your character. Yes, I drew a line from that.
I'm not.
Please introduce yourself, your character, and what's something you just like turned up your nose at as a child.
Hello, I'm Will, also known as Tabletop Roles on the internet. Tonight I'm playing Igora, Gama, and Choco. And the thing that I turned my nose up against as a child, rhubarb. I still do. Rhubarb's disgusting. It's fucking awful.
Blasphemy. I
Worst
would
thing.
eat rhubarb, dipping it in bowls of sugar and then just biting it.
And you have bad taste because of it.
Well,
Yes?
glass
Sure,
houses.
mister, I hate Cokes.
stones.
Or I hate cake. Sure.
You hate cake?
I don't really love cake. I don't hate
Wow,
cake.
cake.
I just don't go my way for cake.
Also, I got a mocha tort tonight.
As
the way.
per our discussion earlier, I would actually usually go for a mousse.
You didn't share.
Me?
Yes, you.
To be honest, the chocolatey
dare you,
wafers
Matthew.
that separate the layers kind of dry.
No.
Yeah.
Because this has been sitting in a cake display all day, so I think that's the one problem with my local cake shop. They have such a wide variety of really nice cakes. Problem is, they sit in the case kind of all day, and so by the time you get them, a little dry.
It happens.
Yeah. But speaking of the person who spoke up last and fell into my trap, Sarah, please introduce yourself, your character, and what's something you as a child just no.
Gosh. Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Margaret, also known as Cosmic Deity 746 on Twitch. And I am playing Charlotte, the Anati Toxicologist. And I don't get to say that. It always like runs off of the tongue. Charlotte, the Anati Toxicologist, for some reason.
And it might be the last time you say it.
So sad. The the thing I had to think about it. So I was very similar, I think, to McKenna in that I didn't do raw fish, although I loved fish sticks. So it wasn't, say, like fish in general I disliked. If I had to think about it really long, something that I will not eat, did not eat, do not want to eat, and will never eat, even to this day, is lamb.
You just find it bad?
Like the
I
taste.
might actually kill you guys today.
In my brain, nothing bleats it.
See,
I couldn't even be mad at you for killing us, Matt.
I wouldn't, honestly.
I am going to pull my eyes out.
No, for quick clarification, while understandable, and I am a meat eater, but Matt probably understands where this comes from as a vegetarian. I don't eat lamb because I actively raised them for a lot.
Mm. Yeah.
And no matter how much I hated them, they are the dumbest animals on the planet Earth.
I don't know, pandas.
When people say humans are like sheep, there is a reason for that because they have no brain cells.
I feel like we're really underestimating the ocean sunfish here in terms of
Oh,
stupidity.
very true.
Is that the one
Very
that gets
true.
riddled
In
with
terms of land
parasites?
mammals, they're
That's
probably
the one.
one of the dumbest.
The one that seals take bites out of and use those bites as frisbees.
Yeah.
And they don't
Okay.
even notice because they're too dumb.
Cool. I was just making sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing. It's like you would think, oh, if you hate them so much, wouldn't you revel in eating them? No, because I know what it looked like. Because for when I was a kid, I would raise them. So I knew what they looked like. And in fact, my grandmother one time bought one of my sheep for auction, and my mom tried to get me to eat it by not telling me that it was the sheep that my mom put for
Oh,
because
that's
it was
traumatizing.
interesting to
Oh,
see if I
kitty.
could
Oh,
try
kitty.
it. She almost got away with it. I had it almost to my mouth when my grandmother, my grandmother, said, "Wow, this is really good lamb." And I dropped the fork and I walked away.
If it weren't for you meddling grandmothers.
Nope. I was like, look, if I ate it, I might actually like it, right? But I will not eat it.
Fair enough. And because the dramatic removing of the glasses did not escape my notice, last but not least, we have our dear Zoe Pose. Please introduce yourself, your character, and as possibly the giver of the answer to the last funny question. Please let us know what you didn't like as a child to eat.
Great. Hi everybody. I'm Zoe. I go by Zoe Pose on the internet, and I am playing our bard of the party. Her name is Ophelia, and she wants to bewitch your heart. And as for a food that I hated as a child, hate as an adult, will always hate. It's beans. So throw a bean cup in chat.
Calf beat you to it.
You lie. You lie like a rug.
I hate them. I hate them so much.
But they're good for you.
Ugh, yucky.
Beans.
It's time for a noodle dance.
I am
You're not doing
chat.
the
I'm actually actively referring to a book that I need for this evening.
noodle dance. Noodle
And
dance.
last but not least, the food that I dislike as a child and also still dislike as a human is turnips.
Oh,
I
really?
do not care for turnips. I don't like the texture. I don't like the flavor. I might actually like it if it's completely non-processed and just thrown into like a crock pot, no, a casserole dish with a bunch of other vegetables, and you just throw a little olive oil and some salt and pepper on there and put it in the oven. Some nice roasted vegetables. That I might be able to eat if it turned up that way, but no.
But otherwise, if someone was having a meal with it, you wouldn't turn up.
I've made that joke a million times. Well, I turn up my nose at the turnips without hesitation. I just ugh.
Was there anything you hated as a kid that you found you like as an adult?
Yeah.
Myself. Wait.
Oh.
A
Almonds.
taste of? Almonds. Interesting.
For the longest portion of my life, I just said I dislike all nuts, and I was able to say that because peanuts are legumes. Because I'm a pedantic asshole. But now I've discovered that with a little bit of salt, or sometimes like with some barbecue flavor, like hickory or something, I really do like some almonds, and they're actually quite helpful for me because as a vegetarian, they provide things that I don't get a lot of.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and they got that nice crunch to them. But I still don't like walnuts. Hazelnut makes me queasy. The smell of like hazelnut coffee, I go, ugh.
Oh, I love
can't
you.
stand it.
Interesting.
Which is why I don't like Nutella. Also because my brother liked it, and I'm contractually obligated to dislike everything he likes.
Of course, of course. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Just be that way.
Well, I am his shadow, so. But enough about my weird relationship to my brother. Let's move on to the game. Will, why don't you go ahead and roll our first little commercial break and that intro?
Yeah, we'll unpack that later.
No, we will not. Fun thing, it's part of Japanese folklore, I think, that if you throw beans at onis, it kind of like repels them. So I think they have to be like dried soybeans.
They are the dried soybeans.
Dried soybeans.
The dried legumes.
Also, what is that fun little bit of old vampire lore? You throw like a handful of rice on the ground, they have to stop and count them all.
That's a very niche one of
Yeah.
vampire lore.
I always liked the idea that they couldn't cross running bodies of water.
Yeah, see, that one feels like that one does come up when people think of the vampires. The one that always gets me is the way to actually kill them is one, you have to stake them, but two, you also have to burn them and spread their ashes on a crossroads.
I
And you
mean,
have to go through the whole ritual.
like putting a stake through a vampire's heart in Vampire the Masquerade doesn't actually kill the vampire. It just puts them into torpor. So they're like in a
Bless you.
vampire coma until you pull the stake out.
Right.
But then you can just leave them out on the lawn. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path. We are in the literal final stretch. One enemy remains. After our party was confronted by three aspects that emerged from the, as we've been calling it, the God Grub. The party did battle with the aspect of immortality, the aspect of hunger, while banishing the aspect of insects to a extra-dimensional maze, which, because it's not built to escape it, it was just kind of trapped there. For only like maybe 2 or 3 turns, actually. It's
No, it's still trapped there.
No, I'm just saying it hasn't actually been that many rounds in this combat.
Hmm.
Thanks,
Like full
Aviani.
rounds.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aspect of immortality and the aspect of hunger were taken down in actually pretty quick succession, which was good because a fun little rules interaction, because all these aspects were in competition with each other, they, one, didn't count as allies for combat stuff, and two, whenever one of them was defeated, the other two would get health back.
Mm-hmm.
But now, as you guys survey this blasted battlefield due to some meteor showers, there is still sort of like the ghostly image of the aspect of insects sort of like hanging in the air to mark where it was when it left on its little journey. I mean, you guys potentially have free rounds until its turn on it, because I don't know, you could potentially do a lot of stuff if you keep it trapped there. It depends if you guys want to finish it off, because unlike banishment, there isn't a time element to maze. Eventually, statistically, it will come back. You could just maze it again, but you can't do this technically forever. It is a giant thing that, outside of level 20 characters, could probably just kill hundreds of people. It is a giant, weird bug demigod thing.
We'll get to it eventually, but let's all heal up first.
Right?
I mean, you guys can certainly do that. Admittedly, as I recall, healing outside of combat is a lot easier because you have multiple minutes. In combat, you have less than a minute. So, outside of Battle Medicine 1, Battle Medicine 2, healing will go a little slower. But we're starting with Avi Avi. It is your turn.
It is my turn, isn't it?
Yes, as the boss music kind of like stalls weirdly because the enemy is technically not on the field. So it's just like,
It dies down.
yeah, like
you
it's
can
like-
hear it just echo in the background, and you're like,
from a distance, like, is it playing in another room?
"What's
Comma,
happening?"
perfectly unscathed. Igara is the color red.
Wah, wah, wah,
Fun
wah,
fact,
wah, wah.
fun fact about what's his name, the crab from Little Mermaid,
Sebastian?
Sebastian. Crabs only turn red once they're cooked. Sebastian is a zombie.
No, Sebastian was so
Horrifying.
angry he boiled himself.
That still doesn't preclude that he's dead and walking around.
Also, some crabs are red.
I mean,
The
some crabs are people.
Not those kind of crabs. He's not a little Christmas crab on Christmas Island.
Or a sewer crab in Super
I'm moving on.
Mario Brothers.
Hmm,
I actually don't have anything I can do, but I think she will go over and like check on Igora not getting too far away from Endures in Darkness.
Oh. As just
Oh?
a fun little reminder, Avi Avi doesn't know this, but other people saw this. When she used the wish spell, there was the ghostly image of a figure standing behind her, all dressed in white. What
I-
that's about, who knows? It's the end of the campaign.
knows?
We'll probably never know.
Ophelia told her told her she saw something weird and we were gonna talk about it, so
That's true. But Avi Avi, it's her turn and she's preoccupied.
Yeah, Igra's lying on the ground, nearly dead.
you guys
I've got one set of hands, and you can see I've got an electric arc charging between them.
I'm concerned, but you're breathing, so that's good. Do you want to come to Endures in Darkness, or do you want Endures in Darkness to come to
I
you?
think they're before me in this sort of initiative order
Yes.
that the universe has, but I'm a fucking god!
Okay, I'm going to move the rest
I
of the
think
way.
he's gotten
over
a head
to
injury.
Brad.
I'm prepping that.
For the first time in several years,
I'm
you see pure bliss on Igra's face, and all it took was his near death.
Oh, that's not.
Oh,
That's
no.
not.
Okay,
We are going to pack that.
McKenna, I must say, I heard for a second, and I immediately thought, no, that can't be what she said. It sounded to me like you said, that's hot.
No, I
No.
said oh. I said oh.
I know.
That's not.
That's why I immediately like, no, she did not say that.
Nor.
Whatever.
But I think that's my turn.
All right, Endurance and Darkness is gonna have his little scrubs already on. He's gonna be running that way. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Tackles like a madman.
What's the highest level of heal I still have left?
I
I
thought you
think
had
I
a
used-
moment to renewal still, right?
Yeah, but Moment of Renewal has to be touching, so I could just touch you. Well, no, I can't reach you in time because it's
No,
two
I'm saying
actions.
like we could all, because we have multiple turns, we could all just get around
That's fair.
Endures and put our
All
hand
right.
on the mushroom.
Endurance is going to use 2 actions to get over to you, and just to make sure you're stabilized, is just going to use like a level 3 heal in case like a rock falls on you. So that's just going to be 3d8 plus. Actually, it's just going to be 3d8 because it's a 1 action heal.
I do love the fact that Orc
4,
Ferocity is
wow.
basically tank limit break. Well, that quintupled my hit points.
Charlotte. Paging Dr. Charlotte. Paging Dr. Charlotte.
I mean, I can slam a bandage on him, but I don't know if that'll help.
Don't you have any like anti-acid that like heals things?
Not anti-acid per se. I do have a lesser elixir of life.
I mean that also works, but we are going to probably do that moment of renewal.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Don't use consumables just yet.
If you need to like maybe craft, now's a good time.
Oh, yes, that I will do. I'm going to do 3 actions to do very
Wait.
fast-paced crafting.
If I think moment of renewal is touch.
Yes, that's why everyone has to be around.
Oh, right.
So if you could get yourself over to Endures in Darkness, I will do my best to keep this thing in the maze for as long as it takes for you to craft.
Is that close enough? Do I need to be closer?
It's
You'll
touch, so you'll need to be
touch
beside.
within literally next to him.
There you go.
Okay. Okay.
All right, we move on to the aspect of insects, who will attempt to get out with a perception check. Watch, he's going to get an at 20.
No.
No, I won't.
Nuh-uh.
No, but he got a 48. What's your DC?
It's a success, but it's not a critical
Okay,
success.
so he makes 1 bit of progress. He only needs 1 more to escape, but that's all he
Mhm.
gets to do this turn, so he's 1 step closer. Though if he fails next turn, he will lose that bit of progress. So, we move on to Igra, who is slightly less dead.
Interact action, hand on the Endures in Darkness.
I mean, he will do that on your turn. You have a turn to do whatever you want.
No, you only have 2 hands Endures, so like you can only put them on 2 people, so I'm just touching you.
Well, no,
so
the
that-
range is touch. He doesn't actually have to touch people, I don't think.
Yeah, it's literally The range is literally touch. You have to touch.
Never mind. All right, if you're foregoing your turn, we'll move on.
I don't have. I have literally. Gamma will move to there.
There you go.
May I
And
make a
Choco will move to
suggestion?
there. Go for it.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna say maybe just like move Choco out of the way because I think it's going to come back right on top of Choco,
It's like-
if I remember correctly.
It's like here.
Yeah.
It's in that big space right in between them, which Will actually
Mhm.
does know because he can see the DM level.
Can I? Oh, I can. I just put Choco so he's adjacent to Gamma.
Ophelia, your turn.
Ophelia is after recovering from cringing, going to rush over to Igora, cast dancing lights on her little like in between her little lace gloves, and like check his eyeballs. Like
Oh, the light.
a concussion?
No, I just, got hit by a meteorite. It's fine.
There is a visible dent in his soft head.
There are children that can summon those in another universe.
If you feel the need to sleep, just don't, okay?
Oh, I'm not going to sleep for a few days. This has been a great adrenaline rush.
Okay.
I think she was talking about. Anything else you want to do on your turn? Maintain Bard Song?
Yeah, I'll maintain Bard Song. I guess
I
I
should-
should have re-rolled for Bard Song.
Well, no, because we are still in the same combat.
Yeah, but it's only at a +2, so
I mean, I think
I could
I guess
try
you
to
can
get-
do that if you
I
want.
could try to get a +3.
It's up to you.
No,
45. Not quite.
I only rolled a 4.
So we're still at the +2. With the lovely strawberry, which you don't hate anymore. Avi, it is your turn.
Gonna move over here to Endures in Darkness.
All right.
I think that's it.
All right. On Endures in Darkness turn, he will use the Moment of Renewal. The target experiences a day's worth of recovery in instant. Any additional effects that would be blah blah blah. Up to 6 creatures. So yeah, Endures does that spinning around thing where he high fives everyone.
I'm
Hmm.
so glad I'm wearing gloves.
Yeah, I knew. I figured. I'm like, Ophelia, this is going to be really hard for you, but. All right. So everyone gets back up to full health.
Mhm.
There's a Darkness also very much appreciates. Oh no, but the wish brought him back up to full anyway. So.
Mhm.
Uh,
Do we lose any of the conditions that we have with Moment of
Yes.
Renewal?
you get any sort of condition that you had that you would normally recover from a long rest goes away.
So doomed goes
So
down.
my doomed 3 only goes down to doomed 2.
Yes. So don't get dead.
Yippee!
All right, Charlotte, you're up. If you want to keep crafting, if you want to take a more advantageous position, because you get the impression that the thing is going to come back in the space in between Gamma and Choco. Avi might intentionally let it drop on her next turn or something, just so you guys can get this over with.
Mhm.
Would I
Mm-hmm.
Would I?
have
Could you?
enough time to set a bomb where
I
I
knew it.
think it's going to
The old maze and C4 pad strategy.
Well,
just
you
thinking about a demolition.
Mhm.
you may see one alchemist. I see 4.
Maze
What?
bomb.
Well, I think it's just dropping a thing on the ground, probably, isn't it? Or
Well, I could.
I would say if you really want to plant it in the ground, it would maybe take 2 actions, but you're pretty close.
Yeah, I kind of want to do that. Just for the heck of it.
Also, keep in mind, if it
Oh.
rolls really well on its next turn, it will probably have to come out of the thing with 2 actions.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm going to move over here and I'm going to take a little bomb, and I'm going to plop it on the ground and just go like,
Some days you can get rid of a bomb.
and then just kind of like time. Hold.
Just for convenience sake, I'm gonna say maybe step 5 feet back northward.
Yeah, you don't want to be adjacent to your bomb when it explodes.
Oh.
Well, also don't be under the thing.
But all the coolest action heroes walk away from the bomb.
What they
Like,
don't show you is that they lose all the clothing on their back and they get butt burns.
you can't hear anything.
They will say it's worth it, but it's not.
It's like some sort of
That
aggressive
depends.
food wars.
Are we going to see Mercedes after this or not?
That's
I-
that
God,
is
I hope
probably
not.
one of the funniest thing you could do with that trope, honestly, and this is off subject, but like have the person walk away and they're distanced enough, but as they're like, wow, that was really cool, they go, huh? What?
Ah,
What?
tinnitus. My,
I can't hear you.
my tinnitus is getting worse as I get
Okay,
older.
so there is a greater acid bomb on the ground. Actually,
also-
I lied. It's not
I'm
a
just
great.
picturing a cartoon bomb with a little smiley face on it.
It's a moderate. It's a moderate crystal shard, so that when it does
Oh.
shatter, it just makes crystal shards that they're sitting on. So
Crystal, you say?
It's a crystal-looking bomb. Avi looks at it and briefly for a moment hallucinates like Agate's face smiling on the bomb, like it's just like a kitty head bomb. Because it's a crystal.
Oh no.
oh dear, oh my, oh noes.
No.
The Crystal Exarch.
And you hear Agate whisper in your voice, like jokingly, I have become death, the destroyer of worlds.
That's not funny. That's not funny.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, I believe that's Charlotte's turn. We move on to the aspect of insects. Come on, big boy, roll 39 against your DC.
Fail.
All right, so he doesn't lose any progress, but he doesn't gain any. So it'll now sort of be up to Avi. Igra, you are now full of verve and life and still adrenaline.
Igra stands up.
AO
Igra
for
says,
the invisible assassins.
Igra says, all right. We have time now, right?
Wait, would Gamma be up still?
Yeah, I was at 1. I wasn't down.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Gamatatsu, join the fight, bro.
Bruh.
Yeah, we're going to get Gamatatsu out here. Actually, let's put Gamatatsu there so that they have a thing. And that will be...
Charlotte, as you are waiting patiently to set off your very delicate and important to control bomb, a giant frog with a giant tongue the size of you appears next to you.
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh, beep.
No, Gamatatsu knows Charlotte. Gamatatsu looks at Charlotte. Hey, Char, how goes?
I mean, it's still potentially startling if a giant thing 8 times your size appears in the square next to you.
Like I've got one of my hands up and is counting down, like the seconds going.
All right, we move on to Ophelia, who's still singing a pretty song.
What?
Or dancing. Or painting, I don't know. Performance check is broad.
Yeah, that's true. I think
Performing a teaser.
actually she's finger tutting. She's been
Not the finger tutting.
finger tutting this whole time with the dancing lights, checking Igra's eyes.
I'm
Oh.
100% fine, Ophelia.
He's so fine. He's fine. He's better than fine. He's great.
Perfect. He's fine, okay?
I not trust that.
Was that old Nutrigrain commercial like, oh, I feel great?
I feel good. Ba da 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 da.
All right. What are you up to?
So performance for a +3, I rolled a 52, which is
52.
over a 50.
That, I believe that will be a critical success then.
Yippee! So we got a +3.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And
Change
Oh,
that
a villain
strawberry.
point. Don't worry, there's still things going to be happening. Oh, I suppose I could have used the villain point there.
we aren't all.
Mm,
They're going to drop it anyway, Crystal Calf. Don't worry about it.
maybe.
We had hasted before, but I think it's been
No,
enough.
it still hasn't been enough. It'll last 10 rounds. It's only been 4.
Okay, so we're still hasted, so I don't have to do that. Um, would restoration do anything about your doomed status?
Only greater.
Only greater gets rid of Doom.
Like
then.
the higher
Doom-
level, the
Yeah.
higher level ones.
I don't think so.
And really don't. Doomed only affects her if she starts taking death saves. So
I don't really know if there's like setup stuff that I can do like that. So
don't feel you need to do anything.
yeah, I guess I'm good.
You could position yourself.
I
if you
could
want.
forbid ward Choco against the thing because it's gonna pop up next to him, right? So
Yeah.
+1 to his AC.
Sure.
Or wait, hold up. I think that's plus.
I put a little no sign next to from Forbidden Ward. Your attack is forbidden.
+2 to his AC. And that's my turn.
What appearance does your ward take?
I would say a little pink lace scarf now is around Choco's neck.
They seem appreciative. They're like, ooh.
So handsome, so dashing.
Delightful.
Gonna go find some chickies to impress after this.
Ooh.
Avi, it's your turn.
Okay, before I take this down, is there anything anyone else wants to do? Going once, going twice. Okay. I don't think it's an action to dismiss
No,
the spell.
dismissing things.
So
is a free
I'm
action
going to
thing.
take all 3 of my actions to put flammable fumes like
Again.
right here.
20-foot burst. That still will probably get.
Oh, is that gonna get Gama and Choco?
That's fine.
You could
Can't
just
I?
like.
Can't I
You do want to like. You could just put
do
it
like
like
a
below,
square?
like to the south, and catch them with the edge of it.
Yeah, I'll do that. If you would just allow me to place it in a way that it'll get him, but it won't get my allies, that would be
Yes.
great. I will do that, and that will be my turn, and I will drop Maze.
Choco thanks you.
All right. Endures in Darkness is up. He sees this target return to the field, still with a fair amount of health, honestly. This isn't going to be a quick fight.
Mm-mm.
But Endures in Darkness vanishes. No.
Time for me to channel my inner Rosalie and take this thing down.
He's going to use his last stone lance for the day, I think.
Mhm.
45 plus 3 with Bard Song, so that's going to be a 48. Aspect of Insects AC for the record is at 37. So that is a critical hit for our little mushroom man. So that
Hell
is going to
yeah.
be, with Bard Song, 40 piercing damage as a little row, fight the power drill comes out of the ground. And Endures in Darkness just kind of like Earthbend punches it in the air, and it goes zzz, flying at this thing and burying it into the side. And making sure it does not have any resistance to this because it's piercing damage, so it takes the full 40 damage. I'm not on the right layer to select it.
Nice.
There we go. And then for his remaining action, he's just going to spread out a little bit because he suddenly remembers that these things all have breath weapons, essentially.
Mm.
I forgot about that.
But it's Charlotte's turn, who's now standing with their explosive thing.
Would that have gone off when he came?
Yeah,
Right,
right.
it-
Where it lands, and then Charlotte just goes, 0.
Well, the problem is too, because it is like made up of like thousands of small insects, it doesn't have a whole lot of collective weight on any individual bit. So yes, it'll probably require you to actually trigger it, but it is your turn, so.
Frick.
All right, tell us what it does. Oh my!
20s.
I mean, considering the amount of
Hell
prep you were
yeah.
doing, I love that this was a crit.
You just, again, the goggles are down and you're seeing like the flames reflected in the goggles with the manic like
Now-
explosion.
Annoyingly, because this thing is actually technically not a swarm, it doesn't get any bonus damage for explosion, but you're still critting, so it's still going to be doubling.
Yeah,
So
still
6 plus
piercings.
9, so 18 just piercing off the explosion itself.
+3.
I did,
Bard
it was
song.
9 times 2.
Perfect.
Don't quote
Yeah.
the ancient magics to me.
Just always make
Also,
sure we don't forget
additionally,
Bard song.
That
And-
area it's standing in is now caltropped,
Ow, ow, ow.
quote unquote. So like,
All right.
I guess it is a mist of insects, but still.
And it takes all the splash damage too. All right. I'm going to say that was, there's one action. You still have 2 actions. You are very close to the thing. And Endures in Darkness did shout out that watch out for the breath as he ran away from his teachers.
Okay, I'm going to do next action as a second attack. 37 to hit
Uh,
with the Bard Song. Do we still have Bard Song up?
Yeah, +3.
I mean, that would hit without Bard Song.
Okay, so that's that, and I need them to roll fortitude.
Bludgeoning, slashing. A fortitude save, you said.
Sorry, will save. My apologies. So
Will save. 36.
That does save. So.
All right, but he's still
But
going to
doesn't have any
take
effect, but
22 bludgeoning slashing damage, which
Oh,
don't ask me how that works.
And I am going to follow the advice of Endures and skedaddle.
But in which direction?
Professional skedaddler.
All right.
Okay.
So fun thing too, the aspect of insects has a fun reaction based on whether or not something critically hits it.
Uh-oh.
When something critically hits the aspect of insects, it instantly recharges its breath weapon,
What the heck?
which admittedly it was probably already recharged to begin with
Yeah.
because it was recharging the entire time it was in the maze.
Yeah.
Um,
+3 strawberry? Sorry, just looked at
so let's see.
Right song. Hello?
Now, it is an odd breath weapon because it is a 60-foot line that's 10 foot wide.
Mhm.
So I can probably only get 2 people at a time because the way you
Yep.
guys are arranged.
Also, Matthew, I'm so sorry to interrupt you,
No,
but
please do.
could he please take an additional 8 poison damage?
He can totally do that.
There is a rare Diglett on stream.
Hey,
Diggy on
Diglett.
stream. Diggy on stream. Wow.
Poison
Diggy on
is
stream.
Also
got-
one of the things he's not resistant to. He's
Sick.
resistant to 3 things by a high margin, but none of them have come up yet.
Nice.
But it is going to spend 2 actions to use its breath weapon. It is choosing, before I look at the damage, fire, if there's a fire one.
There's
There
a
is one.
fire one.
Oh.
60-foot cone.
It uses fire
Yes.
in the cloud of flammable fumes?
Yes, because it didn't realize you cast that before it came out of maze, so it had no context.
Amazing.
So it is going to get Ophelia and Avi Avi with this breath weapon. I will need
Yeah.
a reflex save, I think. Yes. 42.
Yeah.
Nope.
Boo. Boo.
Well,
Wow.
That's fine. It's only 85
All right.
when
damage.
we
Both of
fail,
you
we
do it.
fail together.
So yeah, 85
as we get roasted.
85 fire damage, please.
Yar.
But it is going to probably set off the explosion.
It is absolutely going to set off the explosion. That's, I believe, 10d6. Is that how much it is? Hold on.
So I'm
Yeah, 10d6
picturing
fire.
average of 30 damage.
Hmm?
Average of 30 damage.
Yes, but it automatically takes it.
Yes.
There's no roll.
39 above
Nice.
average.
Technically, 42.
Never let go.
Technically, Zoe, please push up your glasses real briefly. Excellent. You're on point with the glasses-based humor tonight. So that was 2 of its actions, and for its remaining action, it is dun, 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 dun. It is going to turn to oh, it's got a target-rich environment here. It, with its reach of 20 feet, is actually going to just lash out with its fire maw that just finished spitting fire at Igra.
Yay. What do you get, Matt?
55.
Oh, crit.
Woof.
70 piercing damage.
And then 18 fire.
Yes.
So that'll become 88.
My favorite number, short of
Nice.
888. But that's its entire turn. It's also, you guys have done a fair amount of damage already. It's like nearly at half health, I think. That was its turn. Igra and then Ophelia.
So, Matt,
Yes.
step 1, free action, Gamatatsu.
Gamma, 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 gamma.
Gamatatsu goes.
Gama, gama, gama.
Gamatatsu is
I was
going
thinking
to...
it.
Gamatatsu is going to use a tongue attack on the creature.
Pinky.
Does a 34 hit off? Does a 34 hit? Technically...
No, its off guard is 35.
Okay, cool. So then that will miss even with off guard. And it'll try one more time. No. Cool. Choco's free action.
All the free actions.
There's so many. I effectively
mean,
get 6 actions a
You
turn
may
now.
complain about the summoner, but you get to abuse the action economy.
Well, I get to do certain things. Choco's going to use their support ability,
Pulls out some glow sticks.
which will make them off guard if I hit them with Gamma until the end of my next turn to everyone.
Cool.
Then
I do get hard.
Igra is going to spend 1 action to yell boost and boost Eidolon. That will
Puppies.
give Gamma a +6 to their damage. Then Gamma is going to make a just a happy little strike against these creatures.
The belly bump.
Kablamo. That'll be a 48.
That
Off
will,
guard.
That will crit.
Awesome. All right. So I know that just recharges breath weapons. I'm going to say, everyone get away from each other. So that'll be 40. So that'll be 8 plus 6. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Is this a construct?
No.
Okay, so 24 becomes 48 plus an additional 21. So 69
Nice.
damage. And for Igra's last trick, they are going to stride.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 to get to there. And that'll be my turn.
All right, we move on to medium rare Ophelia
Still holding Avi's hand as we both got roasted.
in solidarity.
Does that make Ophelia an SSR if she's medium rare?
Moving on. I'm not dignifying that.
Yeah.
Also,
one of a
fun
kind.
fact is holding hands, to my knowledge, is a finger out towards Avi.
Avi grabbing the finger with her
Avi
whole
with
hand
both hands. Like,
Oh no!
to not be blown away by the force of the breath weapon.
Oh my
mhm.
gosh.
I mean, she's flying and she weighs like the weight of like less than an apple.
Truly a featherweight.
Right now.
Will
It has to be,
your-
otherwise she can't fly.
All coming at them.
Precisely.
will be your anchor in the worm storm or the bug.
Oh,
Oh god, worm storm? I hate the sound of that.
The
no,
bugocalypse.
Oh, whatever
no.
insects these are. She is going to do a little screamy scream. And I need a fortitude save. Please. And thank
Now
you.
this I might use my villain point for.
Hmm.
Fort. Nope, I don't need to. I
Dang.
succeed, but not critically.
All right.
Fine.
Well, you could
So
go for the critical
I
match.
still take full damage because it's still Whales of the Dam.
Yeah.
So that is going to be 40 of 4 of void damage, which it also does not have resistance to.
Do you want to use your point? No.
No, I'm not
Okay.
crit fishing with no.
And with quickened, she is going to shoot. That does not hit.
Actually, with the +3 bard song, that hits exactly.
Ooh, okay.
37,
very
37.
nice.
Nice. I'll take it. 16 damage.
That's
It is
six-
piercing though. So.
Oh, hold on then. Let me just check. No, it's immune to specific elemental types of damage, which no one has done the specific elemental types that it's immune to.
Mhm.
Yep.
Y'all are doing like void damage and sonic damage. Like, where are the classics? Where's the elements from ancient Greece?
Yeah, the
Oh,
classics
yeah.
have been over
Oh, wait.
resisted to death, so we stopped
Actually, hold
using
on.
them.
Yeah.
McKenna,
Yes.
the explosion from the cloud. What kind of damage was that?
It is fire, which I'm sure he has some manner of resistance to. But
And how much
hopefully
was it
not.
in total?
42.
Okay, so he actually.
I'm sure he doesn't have resistance 42 to it.
No, he has
but-
resistance 20 though.
Yeah,
Ooh.
But still it was damage that he caused himself on his own turn, which is funny.
exactly. I love it when
Uh,
that happens.
Yeah, that's Ophelia's turn, I guess.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Avi Avi, you're up.
It is my turn. I'm going to GTFO. I go here.
Abandon Ophelia.
Well, ay. Not a lot of other good places on the board to go, so I guess I'm just going to go.
Trust
could
to be
fly
able
out.
to survive on her own.
And then,
And then
And then-
gentlemen, and then the saints go marching out and Pippin. No, that's fine.
I appreciate the
Like,
Pippin.
I was thinking the corpse bride
Conquering
with
the
skeletons
enemy
keep
and
going.
carrying
And
the day.
then
Yeah, let's hit him with a little phantasmagoria. And hope that mental damage isn't one of the things that he's immune to.
Let
Uh-oh.
me see. Phantasmagoria. Sorry, I was doing something secret. Aspect of insects will save.
a what?
37. I will use my villain point for that because I'm
Aw.
bad about using my villain points. Much better.
All right, but as Matt calculates that damage, chat, we'll be right back.
Half damage.
I got distracted
Fine.
because I found my LED.
Outfits.
And we're back, Matt.
He had a vest made from real gorilla chest.
Ew.
Ew.
Ew. Gross.
Mr. Burns is a terrible person, remember.
Well, yeah.
rich and old.
Well, anyway.
But oddly enough, a
Enough of
proponent of
that.
clean energy.
Moving on.
Well, not the way he runs the plant.
Yeah.
You see those fish in the river with the 3 eyes? Blinky. When last we left off, Avi had done a certain amount of damage with a Phantasmagoria, which, while they succeeded thanks to a villain point from our wonderful audience, we love you, they still took damage, and they still cannot use reactions until the start of the next turn. So if anyone wants to
Yes.
really hit them with a crit in the next, in order to recharge it anyway, so yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah.
We move on to Endures in Darkness, who is a little concerned about Ophelia. They're within 30 feet, so they're going to just throw a heal at Ophelia, I think. They're going to throw a 7th level heal at Ophelia. So, oh boy, 7 times 8 is 56. Wow. 7d8 plus 56. Ophelia, you get 91 HP back.
Wow. Thanks.
That's his last 7th levels heal. You see, he had 2 of those prepared.
Back to full.
And then he is going to, noticing that Charlotte is next to him, it's nothing personal, and he skedaddles.
Wow.
I mean, fair. I won't lie. Self-preservation is a healthy aspect for a person to have.
Prove it. It's your turn.
All right. Well,
Put your beakers where your mouth is.
No, that's really bad lab safety.
Yes,
Yep.
it is. Don't do
I
that.
will,
Don't put
I will
beakers
send-
anywhere near your mouth.
Look, I will send a beak going out.
Oh, a beak.
A beak.
A beak.
Pito?
Inauspicious Pito attack. That is definitely going to hit. So that will do a lovely 11 damage out of the triple digits. And whatever poison's going on. Oh, sorry, which save?
Fortitude, please.
Thank you. Sorry, I was used to people putting the things in there first, but then this makes more sense. 39, that's not great.
No, that fails.
That's Endures in Darkness's profile. Never mind. Hold on. I will keep the roll, which was an 11, and let me look at the fort
Let's
save.
give the alt ad.
39. So it becomes a round 50.
Well done.
He,
That's unfortunate.
it's not its best save, but
Well,
roll.
it still saves.
yes.
So whatever.
It is a level 20 near God Beast. What do you want from me?
I would like
want him to
Ophelia,
die.
A fortitude save would be great.
Oh, yeah, that's a stupid question of mine. I apologize. That was an action. You have 2 remaining.
Fine, I guess. I'll cast Electric Arc.
A classic.
Classic.
Ooh, good damage.
How's its resistances, though?
It doesn't critically succeed, but it succeeds, and even with Bard Song, it does have, it is an electric resistant.
Clip.
You finally, thank you for finally going out on the elemental damage that's actually resistant to.
Hey,
Ooh.
I like that happens, and then Charlotte goes, "Hey, lightning don't work."
Yeah.
I mean, that's useful knowledge. So
Zapper.
Right? You would think.
all right. Oh, I have to use this once before this battle ends. So, the aspect of insects speaks now with a horrible scratching voice that comes from thousands of mouths simultaneously. And it just says, I am the final aspect remaining. I shall reign supreme once I take my throne inside the God Grub, and then I will bite all of you in the body and face until you die.
Wait, do we become a god if we go inside the god grub?
No, you don't have the right adapter.
Oh.
The what?
You're not a bug.
It could be.
Could I summon
no.
a bug to turn that bug that's obedient to me into the God Grub?
Yeah, what are the rules of ascending to God Grub?
All right, I'm going to attempt to pull Gamakatsu apart.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Oh my god.
So I'm going to try and hit him twice, and if it does hit, they'll take extra damage, and then they have to take a fortitude save, and if they critically fail, I just rip him in half and he instantly dies.
Listen, Gamatatsu he doesn't die, he returns home. So that's
So-
fine.
We're going to do one attack with the Acid Maw, which I think will hit.
A 48 will crit.
So that will be 108 damage just from that.
The acid damage he doesn't take. No,
Okay.
he does take acid. So it will be
Oh, sorry. Minus
108 plus
43 on the
26.
second attack.
43 is a crit.
All right, so that will be 76 piercing damage and
16.
I guess 16 fire.
The fire, he does not take all of it. He only takes 6 of it. Oh wait, he
Right.
takes extra fire damage. He's a weakness to fire, so that'll be 26 fire.
Is he still up after that?
I don't know. We'll find out shortly. He has
Godspeed.
no. After the second attack, he goes down.
Okay.
Thanks for being in this
So
world.
you rip him apart.
And now he's just kind of like, I wanted to actually rip him apart. That's annoying.
Uh-huh.
It just does the Naruto thing where he goes, pooh!
I mean, get fucked.
Disposable friends?
I mean, if you're asking, and he's going to try and hit you with his
No.
tail lash because it has reach of 30 feet
35
on you, Igra.
is a miss.
Curses!
I just, like-
Oh, yeah.
I just used some Frog Magon. I just hit it up at the last second.
Also, try not to think about how an aspect of insects, which is supposed to be a whole bunch of insects, has a tail attack. Don't think about that.
I'm thinking of it a la.
I specifically told you not to do that. Igra, it's your turn.
All right, so Igra's first action is going to be looking at this thing. I'm going to attempt to demoralize it. And
I mean, it's
I'm
not having a great time.
I'm
so
just
yeah.
going to say, man, I thought I was going to fight a god, not an all-you-can-eat buffet with legs. Ooh, I'm going to
Get him, Ikura!
hero point that 5.
Yeah, use your hero points.
Yeah, well.
Oof.
All right, well that'll probably fail
Oh,
against their
man.
will DC.
I don't like the way you said that.
Probably.
Excuse me?
Let's be honest, you guys don't like the way I say half the things I say.
Yeah. So Matt, I'm assuming a 36 is a fail against his will DC.
Trombone.
I mean, technically that is a compliment because it means that, you know, you're threatening us properly, at least.
Intimidation against their will, which
Yeah. I rolled a 2, so I'm not expecting that to do
no,
well.
their will DC is 43.
Cool. It's not a crit fail. Then we're going to use Gamma to striking belly bump this thing after I use one action to boost Eidolon. So that would be a 46 off guard.
Which will just hit then.
Cool. And
Oh,
then-
sorry, no, sorry. That definitely hits. Just shy of a crit. Sorry, 40. Its AC is 37. 35 off guard.
So 46 off guard
Actually, no,
is
that
a
is
crit.
a crit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, so that'll be 20, 19, 25, so 50. So 50 plus 3d8. Boop. 50, so 64 points of damage, a stack of damage.
Ooh, that takes out a significant chunk
Choco's
of
free
its
action
remaining
was
damage.
support, so it's off guard. And so
Imagine
that
if Choco
was-
gets the kill.
No, Choco's free action was
Oh,
support.
Okay.
Choco can't hit this thing on anything but a natural 20.
It's
Matt.
looking really hurt.
And then so Igora demoralized, Gamma attacked. I still have one more action.
Remember, you're hasted.
Oh, we're hasted. I have 2 more actions. F it. Choco, make 2 attacks on this thing. So Choco will, instead of doing the free action support, I will have given him 2 actions. He'll do 1 action support, 1 action peck.
Damage!
Nope, 34 off guard.
35 off guard. So
You tried your hardest, Choco.
very
Choco.
close.
Choco came close. And then with my last action that's hasted, it has to be a strike or a stride. F it, gamma.
Algae fist.
Algae kick. 35 off guard.
That will hit.
21 slashing damage.
It's still standing.
Oh,
That's fine. I'm just going to let Avi finish it with a magic missile.
Though it's Ophelia's turn next. Ophelia, you feel the spotlight on you. You feel the crowd getting ready to cheer at the crescendo. It is your moment.
she does like when you have multiple people doing like the arm thing, so it looks like they have multiple arms like behind them.
Mhm.
She does that sort of like little movement with the dancing lights that have been hanging out with her. It's the coolest finger tutting you've ever seen. She's trying something new. She doesn't know if it's working.
I like rave Ophelia.
And then we're gonna shake these bugs' guts.
Shake them guts.
Shake them guts. Fortitude save, please.
Shake, shake, shake the bug guts. Shake it all the time.
That's terrifying.
Painful vibrations. All right, so this is going. It has to critically succeed this, or it's dead.
Yippee!
It only succeeded.
Oh yeah.
So it seems like for a second that the swarm or whatever this thing is seems like it's rearing to about to do something. It's shaking and trembling, but then just pop, 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 like horrific popcorn.
Ah,
All right, so
Igor takes out his gun, fires a
As-
shot in celebration.
I got some stuff to read here for you guys now. So, as the final of the three aspects is destroyed, their bodies decompose rapidly into a vast swarm of dead ants that collapse like sand.
Yummy.
You guys feel, more than see or hear anything, the passing of the king of biting ants. At long last, the last sort of like horrific buzzing that has been in the corners of your mind this whole time fades to silence.
Round of silence.
The huge pieces of the dead larva begin to decompose quickly, flattening and drifting through the air in streaming plumes of flakes from the colossal body. As the heroes collect themselves and recovering from the fight, voices cry out in warning as something squirms within a single gargantuan white sac that remains behind. The thing inside the egg kicks with several legs, struggling to get free. And now here's the actual block text. A gigantic black ant breaks out of her egg and looks around with the confused glance of a newborn. Her antennae twitch and probe curiously. Her enormous chitinous body gleams as she stands, surrounded by countless teachers, warriors, and students of the Magambia's central campus. She totters clumsily to old Mage Jitembe, who has sort of recovered and walked over, and chirps questioningly before lowering her enormous head. Jitembe's wary expression gives way to relief as he laughs and pets the creature's head, eliciting a contented sound from within the ant's thorax. Jitembe says with a sigh, "From this disaster, we have gained something of true value. This was the potential corrupted long ago, a guardian of the Moagi, intended to be a force for good. She was the one I felt within the larvae fighting the old bug's evil influence. Now, those who threaten the Magambi will have a new defender to deal with. The Vescient Guardian stands with us. Her strength joins ours, the strength of thousands."
Of
No.
ants? It was
Credits begin to
always
roll.
It was always
It
ants.
was always ants.
Ants.
Always ends. And now I have the epilogue thing to read.
So how do you do it
Um,
destroying trees?
Conclusion.
It's an ant, not a termite, Igor. Gosh.
So, okay, I got some stuff to read here for you guys. You guys are now legends yourselves, alongside Jitembe. You would have made for a name yourself just for bringing back Jatembe, but now in addition, you've destroyed the King of Biting Ants permanently, his army, protected the students and the faculty of the Magambia, and recruited a powerful and unique guardian that will be the Academy's protector and mascot for generations to come.
Yeah.
Those banners with a cute little cartoon ant on it.
Oh my god, I'm giving her a bow. She gets a bow.
She loves the bow. She treasures it for always.
Oh, distinguished.
Ba, 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 ba.
How regal and
Now,
elegant.
though, to be clear, vast sections of the Magambia are in ruins and hundreds are injured. It will take time to rebuild, and the new magic warriors, wink wink, are the natural choices to oversee it. The new buildings will bear the names of the heroes, after all. So quickly, what kind of building on campus would you guys like your name attached to? You get to have a building named after yourself without being huge donors.
Science.
Aw.
The
Science. All right, Science Hall, the Charlotte Science Hall.
We love
Probably
stuff.
a big, huge library with lots of extra space for rituals.
They name the library you guys have been living in after you guys, and there are now busts of all of you in the library with little plaques.
Hell yeah.
Igoro, what do you want named after yourself?
A school nurse's office, for fuck's sakes!
It will have it under construction. The Igora, for fuck's sakes, emergency pavilion. With a sign in the window, hiring.
Still hiring is
Still hiring.
And finally, Ophelia.
No, I say endures becomes the new school nurse slash doctor.
I mean, are you writing a recommendation?
Of
absolutely.
course, if he asks, of course.
He would never ask.
Teacherdom.
I ask if he wants
Tenure.
one.
Yes? That would be very nice and helpful.
I mean, if you want to be the school nurse, I would love to write you a
There
letter
are
of
so many people getting hurt on campus, and there's no one looking after them. It's kind of horrifying.
You
Yes,
are
yes.
now the head healer. I
We've
say
been saying
I
that for
say we
years
make
now.
endures the head healer, and he becomes the one who then teaches others to also be healers in Magambia. Because my God, we need more healers in Magambia.
He gets a little like doctor's outfit, but it's also like colored like a candy striper, so it's a weird melding of the two worlds.
Hello, Enders.
It's still like a doctor's outfit, but it's really colorful, which isn't keeping with Magambia stuff. There's a lot of color.
All right,
Um,
well, that was actually good. That was actually good.
Now, here's a question for you guys.
Yeah, well,
Huh.
Ophelia, what's happening?
Corday.
But what about Ophelia's?
Oh,
Building.
sorry, Ophelia. Yeah.
very good. So the Magambia has always had like the amphitheater,
Yeah, the pavilion you guys were just.
gazebo, but she's thinking an indoor theater,
Ooh.
something nice and ritzy.
All right, the Ophelia Grand Theater,
Ooh, fancy.
where the magic of theater becomes quite a thing on campus now.
Oh.
Nice.
But yes, a decision has to be made about what to do about Corday.
Yeah.
Oyamba leaves it up to you guys and Jatembe to pass
Oh.
judgment.
Public
He-
execution.
Corday,
Oh,
No, a
Corday
fate
does-
worse than death. I have an
Corday
idea.
does- hold on. Corday does
Oh.
admit her mistakes and assume responsibility, insisting that none of her students should have any blame in the punishment. It all belongs to her.
Corday.
I don't think she was doing anything wrong. She was
Send
just
her to
trying
the
learn about
Pathfinders.
Something.
I mean, that's potentially a fate worse than death. I don't know.
Yes. Send her to the
No.
Pathfinders.
Avi, don't know anything about the Pathfinders and probably would not think to do that because I've never interacted with them before.
Yes, you have. Lexi.
I don't think we met Lexi.
Yes, we did. Lexi Snow.
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 No.
Yeah, but I don't think they're still a Pathfinder, are they?
Once you are, you always are.
Until you're dead, and then
Yeah.
sometimes you get ghost haunting places.
Or
I
necromantic
don't know.
I think she was just trying to learn something new about something she didn't understand, and sometimes that blows up in your face in a really bad way. Ask me how I know. But like,
Avi, did you almost summon a god to destroy the world?
not yet.
We can't
No, but
Listen,
here.
I do warn us about this. If we are too harsh on Corday for this, we will have to be just as harsh on Charlotte when she inevitably does it.
I should mention, you guys, that Jitembe's suggestion is actually not sort of that far away from yours. He recommends an enforced sabbatical from the Magambia. So
that sounds
similar.
fair.
Well,
Allowing
what should
her-
be doing during that time?
Eating humble pie?
Join the Pathfinders.
Taken.
would-
I would say taken down from the seat of it's not the seat, and also put into menial task and menial labors, and helping to ultimately do most, if not all, of the manual rebuilding of the city itself. I think is a good punishment,
Yeah.
and then from there, still work off, as punishment until trust can be regained over time through good deeds.
Community service.
Correct.
So a little bit of mixing of sabbatical. So just doing good works outside the Magambia, whether it's for the community, which
Supervised good works.
I mean that does all fall under Pathfinder stuff.
Supervised.
Yes.
Not adventuring, just like, helping rebuild.
Yeah, with
That is a thing that
parts of the
Pathfinders
city.
do.
Well,
So going to continue with the epilogue text here. Over
yeah.
time, the Magambians grow used to the Vescient Guardian, which
No.
casually wanders the boulevards and gardens of the campus, stepping carefully around or over buildings and munching from the occasional bit of foliage. It's hard to envision such a dainty, careful creature serving as a powerful guardian, but then the Magambia wouldn't be tested by dangers that require her attention, or won't soon be tested. The Vescient Guardian rests near the monument to the Strength of Thousands, which now also bears the names of those who died fighting for the school or trying to save its people, whether lore speakers or not. Many gave their lives, and their sacrifice is commemorated in stone. This is the story of how the Magic Warriors defeated the King of Biting Ants. The further legends of the new Magic Warriors begins here. Roll credits.
Oh.
But
After credit scene.
here's the thing. Also, this is going to appear on the screen for you guys. Everyone, if you could look at Roll20 real quick. I'm just going to pop this onto the proper layer.
The Protea Pavilion?
The Protea Pavilion!
Achievement unearned.
Oh my god.
Didn't nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Had a feeling.
Because we get through these lovely, where are they now scenes and stuff and everything, slow-mo slideshow along the credits, but then the color fades out and it rolls it back.
Giant cult that we left.
Well, here's the thing. So,
Persona.
allow me to read something I've been writing for quite a while now.
Ooh.
She is alone. She stands in between the stories, in the margins between what has been, what is, and what could be. Words, histories, wishes in every language, carved in gold, hang in the very air around her like stars. It is everything, and it is nothing. Potential, unrealized, formless, yet all-encompassing. And in the center, built from scrolls, ancient tablets, arcane tomes, and the recovered stone fragments of a sun god's avatar, stands the throne. She is alone. Here in this place that is not a place, standing before the throne, a moment arrives. A moment, a choice, one that could change countless lives forever. All the long work, all the sacrifices, the compromises, the suffering has led to this. But in this moment, in only this moment, she could make a different choice. She could choose to turn away, to leave this choice forever, to not sit the throne. But she is alone. No family, friend, or lover comforts or consoles her. Not even sycophants or fanatics sing her glory or praises here. She is alone, but not alone. Her fear is still with her, always. She is old and tired, and she is afraid of the future, of the past. So, she sits the throne. The roots of fantasy will descend, and the world will be rewritten, better, kinder, safe. She is alone, and it will all be worth it. And as you all stand in the courtyard of the Magambia, celebrating your very fresh victory, there is a strange stillness that comes over the plaza. The sounds of everything around you seems to dull and soften, and the light from the sun seems to dim slightly.
Yuck.
And because of this dimming light, you are suddenly very aware of a bright light that seems to be coming from Nantambu. And you glance over, and you see now the pale, glowing bark of a tree that hangs over the city. Its ink-starved, blank bark finally ready for its purpose. And a glow seems to come from within it that then floats up into the sky. And everyone kind of follows the trail of these lights up into the sky to look. And for an instant, you see that the sky is filled with gleaming, golden, gnarled roots stretching on forever across the sky. A few people around you scream at the sight. Others simply fall to their knees and onto their sides as if strings cut, like from a marionette. The sight has just shorted their brains out and fallen. To say something here?
That right there is vindication.
And as Igara says this, with the horrible creaking of countless wooden branches, the roots fast beyond what you can imagine and descend from the sky towards every living soul in Nantambu and the Magambia. These roots almost appear two-dimensional. They are like glowing outlines, like someone has drawn a root, but they twist and writhe and move like they are somehow fast digging through earth, but it's the air. And you see they come down like some random person standing near you guys and spears them through the chest in the blink of an eye.
Oh,
The person doesn't even have time to react until the root pulls back out of the person. There's no wound, but as it pulls back, a almost kind of like glowing little scroll of words, so small and densely packed, is pulled from the person, and they just kind of get a blank look on their eyes and fall to their knees, unmoving. And this is happening everywhere.
What in the arcane?
A little bit. I need everyone to make a reflex save.
So we
Oh,
don't
no.
have any time to do any spells or anything like that.
Now, this is all happening so fast.
Okay.
Oh, somehow I don't know that. 41?
Igara, you also have a hero point that Crazy sent you.
Yep.
I'm going to say you like this is actually just the people who failed are knocked prone, because as these roots descend on you all, they strike a gleaming barrier, and you turn, and Old Mage Jitembe, who unfortunately has one that is his chest already, but hasn't pulled out yet. He has cast a barrier over you guys, and he's like, "Ugh, you must, and then he's sort of like,
Can I do something? Can I do please?
what would you like to do?
I want to take out that knife and try to cut it from behind Jatembe.
You move to grab the knife, and a piercing pain goes through your hand. Agate has bitten your hand, and she looks at you and shakes her head.
Agate.
It's not like a I am my sudden inevitable betrayal. It's a like no, this is not the time. And as Jatembe kind of like crunches his hand together, the barrier gets a little solidified around you guys, and then the root pulls out from him and he falls to his knees. Unfortunately, he was still drained from the previous fight and had no real spells.
Yeah.
Charlotte, a familiar figure is coming through the crowd towards you. Mercedes
Don't do it.
has, unfortunately, a root through her chest, but she is holding it in place, and she is slowly walking to you all as people just drop left, right, and center. And she's like,
I am pounding on the barrier, like
yeah, it's rock hard, the barrier. Mercedes is like, I can see the source. I just need more power. And her eyes go like glowing and her horns grow a little longer. And you see behind her, kind of grinning, a specter of a slightly more mean looking Mercedes, who seems to be like massaging Mercedes' shoulders.
Shit,
And
2 vindications in one day.
Mercedes like, you can do this. And she raises a hand and there's a blinding blast of light. And you guys feel like you are being pulled through the air by your noses. There is a blinding light. You lose sight of everything. And then you fall to the ground very roughly in a completely different place.
Giving into the darkness in service of good is not an evil act. Don't have to kill her. We're still good.
Oh, Endures in Darkness is with you guys, though he is now like
Oh, good.
balanced on his head, kind of wiggling his little legs in the air.
Oh.
Reloads gun.
Avi like tries tugging him right side up, but it's
Yeah.
like wholly ineffectual.
Oh yeah, you're so small. Everyone who wants can give me a perception check to see where the hell you have ended up.
Oh. Yeah, the 38 is probably not going to get me super far.
Ophelia, something about this situation, and Charlotte too, you guys are like on high alert now, so you're like assessing the situation around you like rapidly. You were very far away, you think, from where you were. You are sort of at the edge of a jungle, a large kind of forest, with a beaten, really old stone road leading towards, and you see now, is a ziggurat. A large, stepped pyramid temple. Very different from any ones you've seen before. But also then catches your eye is that reality is sort of broken around here. There are floating chunks of earth. There are flowers nearby the road that are blooming and then closing and then blooming again, endlessly in a loop. The temple has glowing cracks in it of gold that seem to be streaming light. Everything seems to be on a slight right angle. It's hard to tell. You blink a few times, you're like, am I just dizzy? Did I hit my head? Or is the world just slightly all tilted now? It's hard to tell. There's a lot of like stuff by the side of the road here leading towards the ziggurat. Just kind of like detritus, like bags and broken down carts and stuff. It seems like people were just abandoning things on this road.
Are there any pools of water around?
I'd say with a 43, I'm not going to make you roll again. You don't see any water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So big ziggurat, sideways things, glitching terrain.
Charlotte, something catches your eye very specifically with a 45.
Mm.
Mercifully untouched by the fracturing reality around you, a little down the road, closer to the temple, there appears to be kind of like a somewhat plain looking natural stone obelisk, like a large oval kind of shaped stone that has been turned on its end and sort of planted in the ground. Um, and there seems to be something colorful tied to the top of it.
Okay, I'm going to pick myself up from where I've been kneeling on the ground, still arms outstretched a little bit. It's like, okay, great.
And you have a lot of arms to outstretch.
I do. And none of
Not
them
enough. Not enough.
none of them can reach. I'm gonna slowly like make my way over closer to the obelisk. I think you guys are just kind of like, what just happened? And then you see Charlotte start like zombie shuffling away towards this thing.
Endures in Darkness actually has kind of gone silent, flips himself over, and immediately follows Charlotte.
Oh, but maybe we should
Oh.
keep the group together, guys.
Oh dear, is this mushroom war PTSD? All right.
As I get closer, can I investigate it a little bit further?
Are you looking for anything specific or just sort of a general scan?
I actually have a great deal of understanding towards occultic items. What is my feat? I have a feat that lets me do like identify.
Oddity identification.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I think I have schooled in secrets, but that's not quite what I'm utilizing. I think I have, because I studied a lot of occult stuff. I think I'm just looking for specifically like, what is this obelisk in relation to? What is that thing on top of it?
So, you notice quite a bit of details. I'm going to say three things very specifically. First, as you approach this stone obelisk, you see there appears to be, it's hard to tell from this distance because it's small and not particularly made to look obvious from a distance, appears to be words carved into the obelisk, like almost like a list. Second, you notice that on a colorful bit of string, there's like a tiny little woven hat hanging off the top of this obelisk. And I'm going to say, you look at this thing and you involuntarily think, that hat would fit Webley really well.
That's just what I was thinking. I reach in and pull out
the
little
rebel
Webley
spy.
as I see
Just
this.
though, the third thing, as you're reaching for Webley, there's a little pap of something on the ground right underneath your legs, and you look down, and there's a little dot of like black, and you suddenly feel to touch your face, and there's a little bit of like ink coming out of like, I don't know if you technically have a nose, but your nose hole, and you're like, that's weird. That's sort of like what Pito is made out of.
Huh. Have I? Okay. I just reach over and I pull out Webley.
Like, oh, look, oh my, there's lots of things happening. I can't remember what the Webley voice is. I don't remember. It's been like over
Sorry,
a year.
He's a little gentleman. He's a little gentleman. Webley.
Oh, I think that hat was made for me.
I think so too.
Do you mind?
Yes. You said grandmother made you, and I reach up and I pluck the hat.
There's like almost a little charge as you pluck the hat off. And I'm going to say, give me a crafting check real quick.
I can, in fact, do that for you. 51.
All right. You instantly clock the fact that this is probably something that has been made specifically as the the knitting was done, this thing was woven, magic was woven into it at the same time. There's something magical about this little hat. It doesn't feel explosive or incredibly charged, but you're like, ooh, it's almost like touching almost every part of it. You get like electric, or not electric charge, but like pins and needles.
If I had a little top hat, I would put a little top hat on this little
Are you
hat.
going to put a little top hat on Webley?
I will. Webley, would you? I do believe it's for you, but do you feel comfortable with a little top hat?
I think this top hat was made for me.
Okay.
This
And
hole was made for me.
I'm going
I wasn't gonna
I'm
say
going
it.
to set it gently on its head, and then I am going to use my own magical crafting to have string come out and like
Strap it
weave
on.
it into his head so he doesn't lose it. But like with the magical crafting feat, I'm just gonna go boop.
With the hat going onto Webley's head, he kind of sits up, sort of at attention, like he's suddenly being made aware of something. And then a voice emerges from Webley, a voice that you have not heard in a long time. Charlotte, if you are hearing this, before anything else, know that I love you, my sweet grandchild.
Aw.
There was not a day that went by that I was not proud of you and all that you have accomplished. By the time these words reach you, I will have passed on to what grand story lies beyond. I will not tell you not to be sad, for grief is but the lingering touch of love. But know I was comfortable and content as the light faded, even more so by the thought that these woven words may reach you. I know something great and terrible is on the horizon. I feel it in my carapace. The people here in the temple love to talk, and I let them. Most are good people, some are even wonderful, while a few I know are truly dangerous. One is a small, twisted man made wretched by his grasping ambition. You will not need to concern yourself with him, as I have taken a page from your book and left a final surprise in his afternoon tea. One is a sad, pitiable creature, full of pain and rage. The people who talk to me are afraid of it, and while I have not seen it myself, I sometimes hear its roars in the night. I hope you can help it, but know it is terribly dangerous, and you may not have a choice beyond putting it somewhere beyond its pain. Avoid it if you can. And lastly, the one I myself fear the most, the clever witch. We have only spoken a handful of times, but I just know that she has somehow ensnared me in her schemes. It has caused you grief, I am sorry. She has great power, but even more dangerous is her mind, like a poisoned razor. If you take anything to heart, my dear grandchild, do not underestimate the witch, or she will have you fighting naught but a shadow until it is too late. Goodbye, my sweet grandchild. I hope that these final words will keep you far from harm. Go knock 'em dead, kiddo.
Charlotte just like curls in as this tall thing kind of curls in, and you see, if you're watching from a distance, you see her shifting. She just goes back to her natural form, where she's just curled in, a little spider, and just is like,
As you have heard this, Endures of Darkness has walked directly up to the obelisk and has kind of put a hand out and is like seemingly reading what's on the obelisk. Anyone who wants can give me a perception check because it seems like he whispers something, but it's very quiet.
How's a 32?
Ophelia's winning so far with a 40. Ophelia, you hear Endures whisper a single word. Mother. If anyone wants, you can inspect the obelisk.
Yeah, absolutely. Would like to.
Yeah.
Yep. Would like to. The obelisk.
The obelisk appears to be a list of names. And they all seem to be vaguely kind of like plant themed. Like there's Cecilia Lily, um, Sarah Sunflower, things like that. And you find another little inscription, and it says, those who gave their all more than they could have ever been asked for. And there is a little drawing of like a little tiny inscription of a mushroom.
Oh. Oh, indoors.
Yeah, he doesn't really say anything. So yeah. You guys seem to be in the eye of the storm, so to speak. No roots are descending from the sky here, though the sky is undulating and swirling in weird muted colors.
All right, so before we go any forward, I'm going to be the voice of reason for a moment. Mental health check. Charlotte. All right. Ophelia.
It's to start.
Okay. Avi.
Present.
All right. So.
Oh wait, no, Igora.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just Igora.
Hold on.
Wait, Gamma.
Bueller.
Igora reaches into like Gamma's stomach and pulls out a chair and just like puts it down and sits like front facing. So everyone you cared about may be dead. Probably most likely just sort of in a comatose state. But we can cross that bridge when we need to come to it. Currently we have bigger fish to fry than our own feelings.
I mean, you all are here, so I'm good.
Yeah. So we currently have bigger fish to fry than our own feelings. And you know what? I'm normally one for healthy exploration of our emotions, but for now we need to box that up. We can use that later on in the fight when we need to push through. And it's time to add another kill count to my count. Let's buck up. Let's find a place to rest up, because God knows we need it after that fight.
You will be allowed a full rest. I'm not making you go into this with depleted resources.
And let's see. And let's save our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah? Let's
Yeah.
save our friends, and let's get Charlotte her girlfriend back, who, as I've said, fell back.
Put a label yet on it, Igora.
Fair, who once again fell into darkness, but in the service of good, so I do not have to kill them.
No, we don't know that she fell. She might have harnessed a little bit of it.
As this is going on, Ophelia,
Oh God.
Hello.
please make me 3 will saves.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right. Technically, if I roll a success, I get a crit success.
Uh-huh.
I cannot crit fail, but we'll see.
But you came pretty close.
As people seem to be preparing to like charge forth into this danger, Ophelia, you feel just sort of like a sudden tightness in your throat. And you
Oh.
feel your own mouth form the words, fuck that. And you feel the sudden urge to run away. And that's where we're going to leave things for tonight.
Add Ophelia
So I
to the
don't say
list.
it out loud?
The words, fuck that, come out of your mouth.
Well, then you're going in Gamma's stomach. Thank you all so much for coming to tonight's episode of The Strength of Thousands. Join us next time as we do Matt's golden ending, the circus that he has prepared for us. Thank you all so much for coming.
The circus is in ruins and all the competent clowns are dead.
Oh shit. Oh shit. My circus, my monkeys. My circus, my monkeys.
Exactly.
Check out our many other channels,
no.
shows on the channel. Check out our many other channels that are on our shows, and we'll see you all on the next one. Bye bye.
Good night, everyone.